Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind Season 10, Episode 8. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. So we pick up with Chris, who takes Jessica over to his apartment. It's the nicest place of the men so far. Thank God. We didn't get a proper tour, but you could tell it looks nice, right? Jessica then takes him to her house, which looks even nicer. So I'm like, damn. If I were to pick which place we're supposed to live in, this actually would be a hard one.
So pretty. It's so bright. The cold plunge.
Yeah. It's just crazy like you're here.
And it's like the most incredible location. It makes more sense for us to be at my house.
Oh, oh my Lord.
Isn't it so fun? Isn't it nice?
It looks great. You weren't lying.
So obviously Jessica lives in a home, and you would think that living in a home is better, but she lives in the suburbs. Chris is used to living like right in the middle of the city, so he prefers that lifestyle. Honestly, it's a toss-up, you know? It's a toss-up. I would prefer living in a home, but if somebody doesn't want that, I could see why the choice would be difficult. And also with Jessica, I wonder how she would fare with somebody coming into her space, because this looks like she's created a safe haven for herself. And she talked about working in the pandemic and being married to somebody who just didn't understand what she was going through, and then maybe just needing a place that was serene for her. And it feels like her home has become that. I don't know if Chris would add to the serenity. He says that the suburbs was something that he never really considered for himself, but if they both have animals and all this kind of stuff, they're trying to host family and whatever, then the home makes the most sense. It really does. They then talk about a conversation that Chris had with his parents. He says that they weren't too pressed at the fact that he likely wouldn't have kids if he was going to proceed in a relationship with Jessica, and she seems relieved. But honestly, the fact that this keeps coming up and the tone around the conversation doesn't seem like Chris is truly okay with letting go of the dream of having kids. Maybe the difference for Chris would be, it's one thing for us to say we don't have kids, but the opportunity is there. Whereas with Jessica, even she is making it seem like the chances are slim to none. And so that choice not really being a choice probably feels more daunting than you saying, yeah, maybe we don't want to have kids, but then down the line you change your mind and you actually still have a chance to have kids, if that makes sense. Ashley and Alex talk about work. So she is planning on moving up in her company, and obviously we know that Alex does not want to live in Ohio. He wants to go to Florida, okay? He wants to be a nomad. So then these two start going back and forth about the weirdest topics, and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on?
I'm just like very concerned of like getting stuck in Cleveland. When do you want to I guess get out of Cleveland? Like the soccer coach is basically sending me a contract today. I guess I'm having concerns that you're not able to be as fluid.
It's been like, we've been back for 5 minutes. I'm gonna talk to my boss tomorrow.
We haven't been intimate, and you know physical touch is like very important to me.
I feel like I've initiated it enough, especially in Cabo.
I just know, like you said something in Cabo, like the physical connection wasn't there.
You're not the type of girl that I normally go after. Also being aware of your period, realistically.
I feel like you think I'm trying to trap you in Cleveland and with a child. Clearly I'm sexually frustrated.
Why didn't you fuck me last night? Like,
it's my fault.
it's not yours, it's probably equal.
Can you imagine at the end of this conversation, this man had broke her down so much that she just bent to his will? Didn't like that. Did not like that. So here's what's confusing me about Alex. Okay, so he's really trying to push them to live in Florida for a soccer coaching job that isn't even set in stone. Yeah, he isn't budging on anything that Ashley has going on. Mind you, she said, I just got back. You're asking me to uproot my life when I haven't had time to truly process everything that's going on, right? He doesn't really have a close-knit family that he's fighting to, be close to. He doesn't have any real ties to Florida outside of the fact that he likes the weather and he thinks that it matches him politically. Okay. What else? He is a day trader and doesn't have a proper, stable job. What are we fighting for here? What are we fighting for? It does not make sense that Ashley has to give up so much stability for so much instability. He's the one who has this life that's able to just shift and shape into whatever he wants it to be. So then why not go wherever the hell Ashley is? I don't. The rationale doesn't make any sense to me at all. I truly feel like it's a way of trying to control her. I do. So then she's like, I promise you, I'm not trying to trap you, because then they start to talk about kids. And then he's like, well, she's experiencing some sexual frustration. She feels like he's not as intimate with her. He's not as physically affectionate as he was with her in Mexico. And he's like, well, you know, sometimes you're on your period. How often are you on your period? Okay. And then she's like, okay, but you act like I have the plague or something when I'm on my period. And he's like, no, I just don't know when it starts and I don't know when it stops. And I don't want to be tracking your thing because that's weird. But like, should I be tracking it? And then I shouldn't track it because I don't know how a period works. I'm like, when do you get pregnant? Is it before? Is it after? Is it shortly after? Is it during? And like, she's like, okay, fine. I'll let you know when it starts. I'll let you know when it ends. But you don't have to treat me like a leper just because I'm menstruating. Like, seriously? Is it that deep? And then he's like, well, I want to make sure that I don't have kids because, you know, I was an accident. Okay, like it's just excuse after excuse. And she's like, I don't want to have kids right now either. I promise you, I'm not trying to trap you. There's a deeper issue here. And I wish that she was noticing, like, okay, you're making all these excuses that clearly don't hold a lot of weight. What is the deeper issue here? Because it can't be the fact that I'm on my period, or it can't be the fact that you're scared of us having kids. There's so many ways to prevent that. So what's the real issue here? You know? Then he starts to pick a fight with her because he feels like she is micromanaging him because he packed water a certain way and then she changed it, or he folds clothes a certain way that she is not really used to. And she's like, okay, well, you can fold your own clothes. And I only changed the water thing once. Plus, we already spoke about this. So why is it an issue again? Girl, I'm sorry. If somebody was just constantly throwing things at me, I would actually have to take a beat and be like, hold on. There's something greater at play here. And even if I don't know what it is, it's pause for concern. I always confuse, is it pause or cause? Anyways, I'm concerned. Because you're using these little things that are so insignificant in the grand scheme of things, and also you're forcing me to accept this new life that, number one, I never fully agreed to, but number two, I need time to process. And it's like, you're not willing to see my side at all. He's very much so my way or the highway. He's really pressuring her for all these things. I would have to back out. Because why do I have to conform so much so quickly? What are you trying to keep from me? I would just feel like he's hiding something. And y'all know how I felt about Alex. Like, from the beginning, he just felt shifty. Something about him just gives shifty, and this is not helping. We see a quick conversation between Jordan and Amber's brother. They speak about how well the meeting went between Amber's child's father. Yeah, Emma's dad, okay? And that Jordan is now considering like having kids. Amber's the first person to make him consider having children. I don't know if that means him being a stepdad or him having kids of his own, but either way, kids were not on his radar at all, and now they are. Speaking of parenting, Victor and Christine have a very important conversation. This was pertinent. More people need to have it. About what parenting looks like when you are in an interracial couple. And furthermore, what being a mother of a biracial child looks like as a white woman.
You know, I grew up very rural. I don't want them to be in that small fishbowl. I want them to see other people that look like them.
Growing up in Brooklyn, and I think it's similar to other cities, everything isn't always set up fairly. Understanding that the world isn't colorblind.
All I gotta say is, look at Devo. Devo is a cautionary tale. Look at Devo. Yeah, okay. So these two, honestly, the conversation was really good. More interracial couples need to talk like this. She always had a vision of making sure her children were well versed in a lot of things. She didn't want her kids to be raised in a fishbowl, right? So she wants to make sure that they know more about the world than just their neighborhood, which is great. Victor then opens up about how tough it is being a Black person in America, and that people don't respect Black bodies, and how you are, killed in the street, and a lot of people don't even bat an eye at this point, or just the different complexities of being a Black person in North America. Like, yeah, this country was built on your back, but they also spit in your face at the same time. Like, it's just It's horrible. Then they get into the conversation about what it looks like to have biracial children. And he says, sometimes it's hard because biracial kids don't feel like they fit in. They're not fully black, they're not fully white. And so you have to be aware of that and find a way to make them feel included, even though they might not feel included intrinsically. Then Christine says she has a concern that she might not relate to her child. And this might be controversial, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I actually think that's a good thing. Hear me out. Although some people look at biracial children and they're like, oh, you are biracial, like that is your quote unquote race. Kind of like how in South Africa, how colored has become its own race. Some people are like, oh, they're not black, they're biracial, or they're not white, they're biracial. But the truth of the matter is, on a grand scale, a biracial child will be seen as black. Biracial being specifically black and white. If they are not white passing, they are going to be seen as a black child. So it is important that you raise that child as that. You raise them as somebody who is cognizant of the fact that the world will see you as black, even though you are both. So if there are moments where she feels like she can't fully relate to her child, I think that that's okay, because that's a testament to the fact that the child has been raised in a way where they are cognizant of the fact that they are black, present as black, and will be treated as such. And sometimes white people just don't fully understand. You can empathize as much as you can, as much as you can try, but you won't fully understand because you don't live in this life. You don't walk in these shoes, right? So I think that that's okay. I loved this conversation as a whole. I think that it was very insightful. I think that he was quite reassuring to be like, yeah, I mean, there are things that we're going to have to navigate in real time, but you know, we are aware of these things, which is so much better than some things we've seen in the past where people make it seem like race doesn't matter. It does. Devonte meets Brittany's family and they are very receptive. They're very warm to him. The only question that I had was for the mama, because it's not like the mama did not like Devo, but she didn't really talk much.
I need some sunglasses.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see what. How many siblings do you have? 5.
Yeah.
So how was the reveal?
Amazed because his eyes. I wasn't expecting him to be like such a big like man. I'm gonna have really pretty babies one day.
The family was very welcoming to Devo. They are already treating him like he's part of the family, which is great. I cackled when Brittany was talking about how happy she was to see Devo at the reveal. I'm like, oh, now you were happy. Okay. Obviously she can't say anything negative because they're in a relationship now, but like, we see you, sister. Then the dad gets emotional talking about his mother passing away. He was raised with the idea that, you know, marriage is till death do us part. And his dad told him that he kept that promise. He kept that vow to his mother, which is really beautiful because not a lot of people can say that. So till death do us part, I would assume meant, well, that's not a direct correlation. Actually, I might take that back. Because I was going to say, I would assume it meant that there was loyalty in the relationship, but that's not always true. Just because we didn't get a divorce doesn't mean that I was faithful. I'm not trying to say that the dad, see, now we're down a rabbit hole. I'm not trying to say the dad was cheating. I'm just saying, okay. The point of the matter is the family values marriage and they value vows and they feel like, you know, once you decide to attach your life to this person legally, that you're not going to back out on that decision. So even the mom chimes in, she's like, yep, we don't play about divorce. And that's about as much as we hear from her. And I'm just like, that's it. I don't think she fully agrees with this, but okay. Then Brittany's dad takes Devo aside and he's like, listen, this is my pride and joy. Do not. Why do y'all always want to do this when I'm filming? Like, I don't understand. Yeah? Do not play with my daughter. So Devo reassures him that he absolutely loves Brittany and he does not plan on, you know, playing around with her. I don't fully trust that, but that's what he said. The dad believed him. They even played a little prank on everybody to pretend like the conversation didn't go well, but it did go very well. So yeah, he was like, I already embrace you as one of my kids. Okay. Bri takes Connor to her home. Her home looks immaculate. So I definitely can see why she had a lot of questions regarding his place. And while they are there, her mom is there to greet them.
It is definitely a bachelorette pad. Came from a frat house.
You'll hear about it.
It was fun.
It started just turning in from coincidences to kind of like fate. I haven't always been like as vulnerable.
He knows everything.
And you're not scared, you're not running away.
That's the thing. I'm gonna be here no matter what.
He loves me.
He's into
He
you.
loves me. Makes me like love him even more.
Bri says she loves Connor so much because he loves her so much. And the more he loves her, the more she loves him. Okay, and like, girl, you gotta give us more than that. Oh, I love you because you love me? Nah, bro. So then she goes into explaining the misalignment that they have, which is ambition and drive. She feels like she's very driven, whereas Connor, not so much. But then she's like, oh, well, does it matter? Do you have to have a partner who's as driven as you? It would be nice. It would be nice. Like, what do you mean? I've never thought to question if ambition was important in my relationship. So to hear her say that, I was just like, I thought that was just a given. Like, you should want somebody who matches your drive. Not to say that you guys are pursuing the same things, but you at least have the motivation in life to pursue something. Anyways, she then says that she is going to wait to introduce Connor to her father because she still has some things to suss out about Connor, and she's only going to introduce him to her dad once she's absolutely certain, because her dad doesn't play. Her dad will have a whole lot of questions, and she needs to make sure that they are well equipped to answer said questions. She then is like, it's not even that I'm looking for your guys' validation. It just would be nice to know that you're on side, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's the best for me. But I'm here like, weren't you just asking for validation from Chris? Moving on. Emma and Mike meet with his family, who have a lot of questions about the process.
Of course, your mother cried for like 2 days. You just love each other. You say you love each other?
It's very hard for people on the outside to understand.
So in such a short time.
I feel like she knows everything about me.
Like to cook?
I love to cook. Spaghetti sauce. I'm really nervous to cook that.
You said sauce, it's gravy. And we don't say calamari, we say galamad.
You both want children, right?
I am not 100% yes, but I'm not 100% no.
Yeah, but what happens if you just get married and all of a sudden, I don't want to have kids and you're already married?
I understand. Just be open-minded.
No offense, honey.
Mike says that he and Emma talk about so much, and they surely do. The problem is that he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen as much as he talks. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, yeah? Listen more, sweetie. So Mike's dad says being with an Italian is basically like being in a cult. Being with Mike is like being in a cult. Let's throw out the Italian part. Being with Mike is like being in a cult. Oh my gosh. We then get to see where he gets this little like nitpickiness from, because his mom is so particular about certain food terms, and I get it, but I'm also like, okay, the girl is new on the scene here. She don't know the right things to say about stuff. But like the way the mom was, I don't know. The mom was irritating me, and so was Mike. And like Mike's dad said, I do understand that being involved in an Italian family is probably very intense for a lot of people. I get it. I understand. I'm an African girl. You know, our parents are strict too. It just felt like the mom was already coming in trying to discredit their relationship, and I just felt bad for Emma in this moment. Emma lets it be known that she's on the fence about having kids. The faces on Mike's family, oh my gosh. They were about to crash out. They were. So Mike's mom is like, well, if you're sure about Mike, then you should be sure about kids. What's the correlation? What's the correlation? I don't understand. Emma then goes into explaining why she's on the fence about having kids, and it's because of the birthmarks that she had and how potentially cancerous they were. And so the family is understanding of that. But then I'm like, see, here's the thing, Emma. It's not just that. It's also the fact that you are not in a headspace to even think about having kids right now. And this is something that she said herself. It's not even us being like, oh, I don't think she's ready. She said she's not ready. So when she's telling people about the adoption, she's telling people about, you know, what potential traits she might pass down to her kids, add the part that you are just also not in that mindset right now to have kids. If those two things are said in tandem, I think it would be processed better. Because if you just say it's a genetic thing, then Mike's going to respond to you and say, oh, well, we could just get genetic testing. then what's your response then? So it has to be more than that. And she has to put the two together when she's saying it. And just to clarify, she doesn't have to justify why she doesn't want kids, but because she wants to be with Mike and it seems like Mike is struggling to understand, I think joining those 2 points together will help with the understanding. But we've learned that Mike is going to see what he wants to see regardless. Anyways, the family is like, oh, thank you for being vulnerable. We really appreciate that. We do think that she's a great person. She would be a great fit. But they do stress that divorce for them is not an option. So they're really trying to make it clear to Mike that if he is going to marry this girl, he better have thought it through. I don't think he has. The episode ends in a weird way. All of a sudden we see that Scott, who the hell is Scott? That Chris is getting scolded by Jessica. And I'm thinking, well, what's going on?
Where'd you go last night?
Where'd I go last night?
Getting a text being like, I'm getting a drink with a friend, I'm staying down here.
I don't need to be in constant communication. It's only been 48 hours.
It's important to communicate that.
Do you think we have a good physical connection?
Do you not?
I feel like it's super important. I date people who like fucking do like fucking CrossFit and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who like works out all the time and like has like a
different type of like body.
I just don't know if it's like there for me.
Chris thinks it is OTT. It is over the top to be in constant communication with somebody for 2 days straight. Mind you, this is your fiance who you just met, who you're supposed to be planning to get married to. We gonna talk every day, all day. If I need to be in your booty hole, then I'm gonna be in your booty hole. What are you talking about? We need to make a really big decision in a handful of days. I'm gonna be in that ass. What do you mean? You don't need to be in constant communication for 2 days. Then this man is gonna say, you know what? Now that I think about it, our sexual chemistry is actually not that great. Do you think it's great? Because for me, I'm just not really feeling that urge because you're not athletic. Because you don't work out enough. You don't do Pilates. And typically, that's what I go for. I go for the girl who does Pilates. I go for the girl who works out. If you don't come off the bullshit, Chris, I don't know what's wrong with this man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Interesting. What kills me is they literally have bigger fish to fry in their relationship, but they're gonna die on this hill of Pilates. You know what? Fine. If that's what's gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back, at least the back is broken regardless. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.